at his Columbus, Ohio restaurant. When he spoke to the media on Monday, Meyer said he had apologized to his team, family, and Jaguars owner Shad Khan for his actions on Friday night.
I just apologize to the team and staff and for being a distraction, just stupid. And so I explained everything that happened and owned it, and just stupid. Should not have myself in that kind of position.
Urban, did you fly back with the team, or did you stay in?
No, I stayed to see the grandkids, and we all went to dinner that night at the restaurant. And then there's a big group next to our restaurant, and they wanted me to come over and take pictures, and I did. And they were trying to pull me out on the dance floor, screwing around, and I should have left.
All right. Many have already questioned if the Urban Meyer NFL experiment will work, considering Jacksonville's 0-4 start. Those voices have now grown even louder. Here's Marcus Spears and Dan Orlovsky yesterday on NFL Live.
Every head coach I ever had said, don't be the guy to take focus off of what we're doing as a football team as we try to win games. It was a message that resonated throughout every locker room I've ever been in. Shad Khan, you on the clock, bro. It's time for you to find another head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I don't want to sit in the locker room and hear you preach about culture and changing things. To your point, we're 0-4. We're 0-4, and you want me to constantly do the right things when you can't? I agree. I don't want you as my head coach anymore.
Okay. Keyshawn, I'll start with you here. Do you think the Jaguars should move on from Urban Meyer?
I don't think that it's a fireable offense. I don't think that at all. I think Urban Meyer made a critical mistake, and he regrets that mistake, but I don't think that his job should be in jeopardy because he's talking out of both sides of his mouth. Now, what I mean by that is you hold players and other personnel people in the front office accountable for certain situations. As the leader of an organization, you say to them, don't put yourself in uncompromising positions, especially in the public setting. And Urban Meyer goes out there and he doesn't practice what he preaches. Now, I can't get caught up in what his family dynamics are. I don't want to even go down that road because I don't know and I don't want to claim to know. But I know as a leader of a football team and as a head coach, you typically tell your players and your front office people, don't get caught doing something that you shouldn't be doing. Guess what? Urban Meyer was caught doing those things. He apologized to the team. I get it. Yes, there's been other incidents. Yes, the strength and conditioning coach incident. Yes, the people didn't like that he brought in Tim Tebow and gave him an opportunity when most felt that it wasn't warranted. But what I would say is you don't fire him based on those sort of things. You try to correct them if he's all in. If he's not all in, then he will let you know that he wants to do something different, but I don't think it's a fireable offense at all. He simply made a mistake. What Urban Meyer has to do, Stephen A. and Molly, is practice what he preaches and not do different. That's it.
Yeah, of course, because right now he doesn't look like he can lead himself. Keyshawn, before Stephen A. jumps in, and obviously we want to hear from him, I just want to ask you a question as a former player who's been in NFL locker rooms. Would it bother you as a player when you've just suffered a heartbreaking loss that your coach doesn't fly back with the team?
Absolutely. Whether we had a heartbreaking loss or not, let's say we won by 50, Molly.
Yeah.
His ass is supposed to be on the plane with us. Because
that
was
concerning to me as well, in addition to obviously the compromising incident. But I'm saying, why aren't you going with the team?
What coaches typically do, and Stephen A. knows this, and you do too, Molly. Coaches, after wins and losses, they get on planes with the team to go back and do an autopsy on the game and the tape. Break it all the way down, see what the problems are, and fix it. Even if you are a coach, like Urban Meyer claims to be, that losses hunt him in the middle of the night. I've been around coaches that go right back to the facility and after the loss, and they're working on a Sunday night trying to see what the hell is wrong. Now, I've also been with coaches that will say, and I've done this probably 3 times in my career, we have a Sunday game or a Thursday game, And the coach will say, we're staying over as a team because players have family in the area. We're just going to stay over. We're going to leave on Monday. Urban Meyer could have done that. Why he didn't go back with the team, he can explain that to us because I simply don't know. But that was a mistake also by him.
Let me chime in here by saying this to everybody. First things first, I have not seen the video. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I've read it. I've read about what happened. I have not seen it. Okay? Having said all of that, I'm disappointed in the reaction of Dan Orlovsky and Marcus Spears. Urban Meyer was wrong. Urban Meyer was foolish. Urban Meyer engaged in hypocrisy. What else is new? We've said this about Urban Meyer before. We said it about him when he was at Ohio State winning 90% of his games. We found out about his hypocrisy at Florida when he was winning national championships. He comes to Jacksonville, and the strength and conditioning coach formerly at Iowa, Chris Doyle, that he brought in and alienated some players. He was excoriated to some degree for all of those different things, okay? My point is, where the disappointment comes in is that Urban Meyer, looking at that as a fireable offense, his family, based on what I read, should have a huge problem with him. Yeah. No question about it. Where I jump off the rails with Keyshawn is only from the standpoint that it was a Thursday night game. He starred at Ohio State as a coach. He's right there in Columbus, and he was at his place of business, which he owns. And so, to me, there's nothing wrong with him going to Columbus, Ohio.
No, Stephen A., hold on. Let me jump back in on you, buddy.
Keyshawn, let me correct something about the Dan and Marcus, because we only showed part of their sound, and I honestly thought we were going to show the whole clip, and I wish they did. I just want you to know, they weren't reacting just to the isolated incident there, Stephen A.
Okay.
They were reacting to the racial issues and offending people with that, with the Tim Tebow, with how the team's not succeeding. So they weren't saying, this incident happened, you're gone. It was a compilation of incidents.
I appreciate the
and if we revisit the subject, we'll get that full sound. I just want you to make sure that you had that context.
Yeah, I didn't know.
And then also, as far as videos, real quick, Keyshawn, yes, there was one video where they showed him dancing with a woman, and now another video has also surfaced.
Okay, go ahead, Keyshawn.
Well, what I was saying, Stephen A., and I mentioned that, Molly, as you said, the incidents about the strength and conditioning coach, Tim Tebow. I made sure to get that in there because I wanted to have full context. But Stephen A., yes, Thursday night there was a game. Coaches in the National Football League that I've been around, whether it's a Thursday, a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, whatever the case may be, this is not a good football team. I understand you are in Columbus, Ohio, at your own establishment. It is your restaurant. I get all of those sort of things. But you just lost a damn football game, man. You didn't win. You didn't win. Get your butt on the plane with the rest of the coaches and the team so you can get back there and fix the problems that you have as a losing football team. On top of that, Stephen A., on top of that, you always claim, not you per se, but Urban Meyer, that winning is agonizing and it's hurtful and it hurts you and you can't take it and all. You shouldn't be celebrating after a loss. I don't give a damn if you're right across the street with your family.
That's where
Get
I was
on the plane with me, man.
Let me chime in here. Fair enough, because you played. And so I'm going to defer to you. No, I'm seriously, I'm not joking. I'm going to defer to you on that in terms of whether a coach should travel back with the team or not. I'm not going to argue with you about that. But what I will tell you is this. When we point to what winning means to him, this is a man that's won 85% of his games over his 17, 18-year career. Last time we saw him at Ohio State, he was winning 90% of his games. He's never experienced losing like this in his life. And so this particular act itself could be a potential aberration. Why would it be an aberration? Because of what he's enduring. You know, you got people that go out there, unfortunately, drink and do other things because the pain of whatever it is that they're going through, they try to soothe themselves.
You're saying it's an unhealthy outlet.
It's an unhealthy outlet. And I think that that's what you can look at this here. Now, again, I'm so glad that you told me about Marcus and Orlovsky, and they weren't talking about the one incident because I thought their position was based on this one incident.
No.
I don't believe this one incident is a fireable offense. I believe it's something he got to deal with his family. I'm wondering how the hell you said you went to see your grandkids, and then you end up with going out with your grandkids.
That
and
was
somehow
also
you end up,
a problem. The cover-up was horrific.
I'm just saying, you're out with your grandkids, but somehow you end up dancing, and some woman that looks like she's close to giving you a lap dance from what I read or whatever. I don't know how that happens with your grandkids around. That's a different subject for another day, okay? But what I'm saying to you is that I have an issue when people have personal things going on with their